In this video, I'm going to be guiding you through Chapter 6.1, Specialisation and Free Trade. The definition of specialisation: this occurs when individuals, firms, regions, or countries concentrate on production of goods and services. So specialisation by country, the advantages is that the country gains significant efficiency gains. This is when the country has better uses of its resources, which increases its productivity. Specialisation also allows for better labour productivity, as these workers will be more skilled at their jobs. And over time, this will increase the country's productive capacity, which shifts the PP curve to the right. The entire country will also enjoy economies of scale, as there will be significant cost savings on large-scale operations within the country. This leads to improved competitiveness in the international market. The disadvantages, however, is over-specialization. This may cause structural unemployment if the industry the country is specializing in is to experience a rapid decline. There will be a lack of variety for customers, which leads to mass-produced standardized products instead of specialist niche products for its consumers. And because of these mass-produced products, jobs available in the country will be more boring and monotonous, as they are doing the same thing over and over again due to standardization. So the turnover of labor will be very high. And due to specialization, the low-skilled labor will receive very little training. This means that they cannot find alternative jobs easily. However, the higher skilled workers are very well paid, and therefore they are very expensive to find a replacement. The consumers will benefit from specialization is that there will be a higher output, meaning more goods to choose from. They will receive higher quality goods due to firms' expertise, and cheaper goods due to lower production costs because of economies of scale. The disadvantages for consumers is that there could be a risk of monopolies, as monopolies will result in less choice and lower quality. Although a country is able to specialize in a certain thing, it might not align with the local safety standards, which means they are unable to import the product. And lastly, supply disruptions, which is caused by disasters or instability, such as earthquakes, hurricanes, or political instability within that country. The advantages of a country's specialization to its workers is that it reduces unemployment, which increases wages and job security. So logically speaking, there will be more demand for goods and services. As higher derived demand for labor happens, there will be a potential for lower unemployment. Another benefit for workers is that there are more promotion opportunities due to a growing industry. The disadvantages, however, is potential low pay and seasonal unemployment. This is very industry dependent. For example, some countries specialize in tourism during the holidays. Therefore, good weather is a prerequisite. So during the summer months, employment is very high. But during the off-season, unemployment will be very high. Some countries specialize in sectors which are deemed very dangerous, such as mining, extracting, and manufacturing, which lead to dangerous conditions in sectors. And due to resource reallocation from the inefficient to the efficient, this will cause structural unemployment. The advantages to firms due to country specialization is that they receive economies of scale, which increases efficiency and profit margins. Firms are also able to get cheaper and high-quality materials and labor, and specialist employees working for the firm, decreasing the prices and increasing the quality of goods and services. The disadvantage for firms, however, is the dependence on foreign markets. For example, arguably, China manufactures everything, so they are the manufacturer of the world. If anything was to happen to stop them manufacturing, other countries will have a big problem, which happened in COVID. The government might impose tariffs, which increases the cost of trade in general, which increases the friction between markets and inefficiencies. For example, Trump has imposed a variety of tariffs pretty much globally. And for domestic firms, there'll be a falling demand for their goods and services, purely because if imports are cheaper and higher quality, consumers will be buying that instead. And for the economy in general, there'll be a higher efficiency due to higher levels of productivity. The resources of the economy is fully utilized, which reduces unemployment and waste. They can also specialize. So with international trade, they can produce beyond their productive capacity. The disadvantages, however, is overdependence. So local firms might be dependent on cheap raw materials, or local manufacturers will be overdependent on exporting their goods into the international market. So this could potentially create structural unemployment, which causes job losses in the long term. And lastly, regional shocks, as this could disrupt trade and output. So moving on to free trade and its advantages and disadvantages. Free trade is the trade of goods and services without any government restrictions or barriers. So countries can specialize in goods that they are made the most efficiently. And with free trade, this promotes global economic interdependence. The advantages of free trade is that it allows for efficient resource allocation. This allows for higher global output and living standards overall. Competitive pressures drive innovation and quality. And this allows for customers with more choice and lower prices globally. And this is all possible because countries are able to specialize what they are good at. This will drive down price and increase quality. And if the world is able to trade freely with each other, the entire globe will experience lower prices and higher quality. The disadvantages of free trade is that it promotes harmful and demerit goods. So for instance, if a country can specialize in making cigarettes and they export that for, let's say, $1, other countries will be quite happy to import this demerit good, which is very bad for the country. Large foreign firms may dominate globally. So instead of just being a local monopoly, there'll be a global monopoly, and we all know the problems with monopolies. Firms in more developed economies will face unfair competition with low environmental standards, because following strict environmental standards will increase the cost of production. And lastly, foreign government subsidies may create an artificial advantage, which will harm the firms domestically. I hope that helped. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye-bye.